Just a disclaimer. These stories are generated with AI. These stories are fictional and are only for entertainment purposes. Thank you. You ever get that feeling at night when everything is quiet except the sound of your own breath, and suddenly you feel like you're not alone? That's how it started for me. I just moved into this old apartment. Cheap rent, decent neighborhood. The landlord swore the place was just a little drafty. I didn't think much of it at the time. I was broke, and the place didn't look like a murder scene, so I signed the lease. The first week was uneventful, aside from weird creaks in the floorboards and an odd coldness in the bedroom vents, even with the heat on. But one night, I heard something different, something deliberate, a whisper. It came from the vent right above my bed. At first, I thought it was the wind. Then I heard again. Clear. Don't look. I sat up straight, heart pounding. The whisper was soft, barely audible, but it was there. I got up, checked the vent. Just an empty metal grate. No drafts, no loose parts, nothing that could explain a voice. The next night, it came again. Don't look, it sees you. That was enough. I recorded the audio on my phone. When I played it back, nothing, just static. I posted on Reddit, hoping someone had a logical explanation. Most called it sleep paralysis, or maybe a prank. But then someone messaged me. An anonymous account. Just one sentence. Whatever you do, don't open the vents. Now I was obsessed. I waited. Night after night, the whispers grew more urgent. Don't look at it. It's watching. Don't open the vents. I couldn't sleep. My eyes burned from exhaustion. Finally, on the 7th night, I snapped. I grabbed a screwdriver and unscrewed the vent cover. Nothing. Just a dark metal tunnel stretching into the wall. I reached my phone in to take a picture, flash on. When I checked the photo, my stomach turned. There was a face, pale, eyeless, pressed against the side of the duct, not visible to the naked eye, only in the photo. I threw the phone and slammed the vent shut. I moved out the next day. But now, every night, no matter where I sleep, I hear it again through the walls or vents. You looked. Back in 2021, I worked for the small, family-owned pizza joint on the outskirts of a sleepy little town. We did okay business, especially on Friday and Saturday nights. I was their closer, usually working deliveries until midnight, sometimes later. That night we were slammed. A couple of drivers had called out, and I was the only one left by 11:30. My boss begged me to make one last order before locking up. Just a single pizza to a house way out near the edge of Miller's Woods. Now, everyone in town knows about Miller's Woods. People say it's haunted, cursed, or just plain evil. I never bought into that stuff. I grew up in a city. I believed in muggers and stray dogs, not the monsters in the trees. So when the GPS routed me through the old gravel service road that cuts straight through the woods, I figured why not. It saved me a solid 10 minutes. Big mistake. The road was rough and barely lit. My headlights stretched maybe about 50 feet ahead, catching nothing but twisted branches and fog rolling across the dirt. I turned up the radio to calm my nerves, but it just felt wrong, like the woods were listening. Then I saw it. Something stepped into the edge of my headlights. At first, I thought it was a deer, but it was standing on 2 legs. Pale, skinny, too skinny, like its limbs were stretched too far, like someone had tried to make a human out of sticks and skin. It had no clothes, no hair, and its face. God, I'll never forget that face. There wasn't one, just smooth, flesh-colored skin, like a mannequin, if mannequins could breathe. I stood completely still, watching me. I hit the brakes, hard. The pizza box hit the floor. I stared at it for what felt like an hour, but was probably 10 seconds. Then, slowly, it lifted its hand and pointed straight at me. I floored it. I didn't stop until I was out of the woods and in front of a run-down farmhouse. I barely even noticed the cold sweat sticking my shirt to my back. The guy who opened the door was old, with sunken eyes and a smoker's voice. He paid in cash and didn't say a word about the fact that I looked like I'd seen a ghost. When I got back into the car, I didn't go home. I drove around for a while, trying to shake that image of that thing's face, or lack of one, from my mind. Eventually, I got back to my apartment, shut off all the lights, and just sat there in silence. That's when I saw it. Tucked under my windshield wiper was a piece of paper, no envelope, just a scrap-lined notebook paper with shaky black letters written in what looked like charcoal or maybe ash. You weren't supposed to see it. I didn't sleep that night. I couldn't. I quit the pizza job the next week. But here's the part that still keeps me up. 2 weeks later, a new guy took over my old shifts. Young dude, friendly. On his third night, he got a late delivery call. The last GPS ping from his phone, right in the middle of that same road through Miller's Woods. They never found him, not even his car. All I know is this. If you ever drive near those woods, especially after dark, and your GPS says that Little Grove will save you 10 minutes, don't take the shortcut. I used to work for a search and rescue unit in northwest Montana. Remote, forested, lots of hikers disappearing every year. More than you'd expect, even for that kind of terrain. But we rarely talked about why. Back in 2019, I was part of a team sent to find a missing college student. His friend said he wandered off one night while camping near Lake Creston. He left his gear, his phone, everything, just gone. We started the search early, combing the woods with dogs and drones. Nothing, not even a trail. Then, around dusk, our comms went haywire. Static, garbled words, like interference, except it wasn't random. One of my teammates, Brian, froze. He said he heard someone whisper his name through the radio. Not like a call sign, like a whisper. We all thought it was nerves, but by the next morning, Brian was missing. Here's where it gets weird. I found his boot prints, walking into a shallow creek. The tracks just stopped in the middle of it. No return path. No signs of struggle. Then I saw something across the water, maybe 20 yards into the trees. A shape, tall, wrong proportions. It moved like it was limping, like it was learning how to walk. I raised my binoculars, and my blood ran cold. It was Brian, or something that looked like him. Same coat, same backpack, but the face was wrong. It stretched too long. The skin was sagging, the smile was frozen. like someone trying to wear a face instead of having one. It turned its head and stared at me. Then it opened its mouth and mimicked my voice. Help me. Help me. Not a scream, not a call. A perfect copy of my own voice. But it whispered like a threat. I ran. Back at base, they said Brian never came back. His radio was found miles away, smashed, but still warm. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about the way that thing moved, how it watched me, how it knew my voice. 3 days later, the college kid turned up, alive, naked, covered in dirt, found walking along the highway 20 miles from the lake. But when they tried to question him, he just said the same sentence over and over again. It sounded like me. I followed it. No one brings up that case anymore. But I transferred out 6 months later, and now, every few weeks, I get a phone call at exactly 3:12 a.m. No caller ID, just static. And then, my voice, whispering my name. I never answer, because if I do, I don't think I'll be the one who picks up next time.